So I'm from New Jersey, and I have my gripes with it, but ultimately it's a great place to live. In this video, I'm going to be giving my ultimate defense of New Jersey and reviewing the good, the bad, the ugly, and for those of you who may be looking to move here, I'm going to tell you why you should closer to the end of this video, so stick around for that. As someone who's been in the Garden State since I popped out of the womb about 25 years ago, I have a bit of experience with the state, and I have a lot to say about it. So if you're thinking about moving to New Jersey, let this be your ultimate guide. And I'll be honest, for a long time in those 25 years that I've been here, I did not like New Jersey, but as I've gotten older and more mature, I've realized the true quintessence of the state. So with that out of the way, I'm Jerry. I talk about whatever I want to talk about on this channel, so if you're here for that, make sure you check out the channel, and if you like this video, hit the like button, and with that out of the way, let's jump right into it. So I'm going to start by addressing some of the biggest preconceived notions about New Jersey. And spoiler alert, they're mostly wrong. So I'm going to start by talking about the whole Jersey Shore situation. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say that people who think New Jersey is just a bunch of fist-bumping Guidos, gymming, tanning, and doing laundry is completely off the rails, because honestly, there are a lot of Italians, me being one of them, who thinks that their grandparents' grandparents coming off the boat makes them a purebred, right off the boat Italian. However, my point is, though there's a lot of New York descendants, a lot of South Philly descendants, and a lot of Italians that live here, that doesn't really affect the overall quality of your life in this state. No one here, and I mean literally no one, acts in the way that the cast of the Jersey Shore does. And the funniest thing about that whole argument is that the cast of the Jersey Shore isn't even from Jersey. But anyway, that's beside the point. The point I'm trying to make here is that New Jersey isn't just some fist-bumping Guido land. And now the next preconceived notion that I want to nip in the butt right now is the fact that apparently people in New Jersey are like really rude. Okay, now honestly, there's only three possibilities. Number one, I got really lucky and haven't seen any really truly rude people. Number two, I've just gotten used to their abrasiveness. Or number three, the honest to God truth is that they're really not that bad. I mean, have you ever been to a New Jersey Wawa? People will literally hold the doors for you from like a mile away. Honestly, I think that's some incredible hospitality. The next preconceived notion that I hear about the state is that it is really congested. I'm not even going to defend this one. It's absolutely true. There's not much open land unless you get to South Jersey by Cape May. There's not too much going on, but other than that, you can't really find anywhere to breathe in the state. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say. It is a pretty packed state given its size, so yeah, you win there. And now the last preconceived notion that I have for this video is about the taxes. There's absolutely no denying this state is an expensive state to live, but you gotta remember, New Jersey is basically an armpit. Up here you got New York, over here you got Pennsylvania, down here you got DC and everything else. And honestly, that was like a really bad analogy. But the point I'm trying to make is New Jersey is expensive, but you're around a lot, and you have beaches, and in certain parts of New Jersey you have some mountains, so you got a lot going on in the state, and it's near everything, so you're kind of paying a convenience fee to live here. I don't really want to spend a lot of this video talking about the financial side of New Jersey. I just want to talk about the state overall. And I think with those, we pretty much nipped out all the preconceived objections of the state. I want to get into some of the weird things about the state right now, though. And now the first weird thing that I want to talk about is this weird divide between North Jersey and South Jersey. It's literally like a little civil war is brewing here. We don't know where it is. It's somewhere central Jersey that the divide becomes actually legitimate, but there is a genuine difference between North Jersey people and South Jersey people. And I'm from South Jersey. I've been up to North Jersey, but I'm gonna be honest with you, like all of us South Jersey folks, we can't stand North Jersey. And it's not necessarily because it's a bad place to live outside of it being extremely congested, but I am saying that it is very New York up there, whereas here it's very South Philly and beach vibes. See, up in North Jersey is where I personally believe you get a lot of that Guido talk. And the reason I think this is because you gotta remember, New Jersey is pretty much a beach state. Yeah, there's suburban towns, but none of them are really over an hour from the beach. And if they are, it's usually a really easy shot to get there, but you gotta remember, New Jersey is right on the East Coast, and there's beaches all the way up from New York down to basically Delaware. Up in North Jersey, you have some of the big party town beaches. Now, while some may consider Seaside Heights to be kind of like a central Jersey, that's where the Jersey Shore was filmed, but everything above it, for the most part, there are some nice beaches up there, but everything above it starts to get very Guido. First things first, up there you have DJ's, which is a bar that everyone in this state fantasizes over. It is the literal definition of cut the mozzarella. And if you haven't heard of DJ's, this is what it looks like. It's a bar right on the beach, and it's pretty small, but everyone loves it, and everyone my age, around 25, is obsessed with it. The point I'm making is there's a lot of this in the North Jersey Shore. Whether you're up there in Asbury Park, Seaside Heights, Belmar, especially Belmar, dear lord, or Manasquan, it's entirely rated by washed up college kids. And those are the kind that I think make up for a little bit of that preconceived notion. That's why I'm not going to say that notion is entirely wrong, because up there you get a lot of that. And that scene is pretty much confined in a tight space, whether it's actually in DJ's or in those little towns overall. You have a couple other bars that everyone freaks out about up there, like Legette's and a couple other places, but for the most part, that little Jersey Shore sort of vibe stays there. But then when you get out of those areas, you have a lot of incredible beach towns. Like pretty much right next to Manasquan, you have Spring Lake, which is one of the nicest shore towns that I've personally ever seen. Now, I live in Atlantic County, which is the South Jersey Shore. I've spent many years in the towns down there, such as Ocean City, Margate, Longport, Ventnor, Avalon, Stone Harbor, Wildwood, Cape May, and out of all of those, Wildwood is by far the worst. That's the only one south of pretty much Atlantic City that is really bad. But all those other towns in the South Jersey Shore that I named, such as Ocean City, Margate, Longport, Avalon, Stone Harbor, those are all perfectly peaceful, calm, family-friendly, nice towns. And then everything pretty much in from there on is also pretty nice. And I've noticed from all my years living in New Jersey that everyone here has a bit of a coastal vibe. It's kind of like a mini, more Guido, California. And yeah, no, we don't have mountains like right on the beach like California does, but we do have some really nice beaches, some nice sand, and our water is nice, so yeah. But obviously, the North Jersey and South Jersey shores do not make up the entire state. There's a lot more there. So as far as nice areas to live in South Jersey, you have Burlington County, which consists of Cherry Hill, Marlton, Mount Laurel, Medford, and a couple other towns around the area, such as Haddonfield, and these are all some of the nicest towns in the state. And I'll be completely honest, I can't really speak as far as what the nicest towns are up north, but I could tell you that there definitely are a lot of nice ones. Just the difference is, when you get further up north, it is very hard to drive because the roads are usually extremely congested and there's a lot of traffic. And just now I'm realizing I totally deviated off of the rails of this being about the weirdness of New Jersey and just kind of morphed it all into one, so I'm just going to stick with this. Because one of my favorite things about the state that I've realized as I've gotten older is it is really near everything. It's so special because the state itself has a lot of nice areas, and yes, there are a couple horrible areas such as Camden and Trenton, but for the most part, it is a very nice state, and it's around some gorgeous other states such as Pennsylvania, New York, Delaware, Virginia, yada yada yada, the list goes on. We're near everything. And may I add, if you really wanted to go up to New England, it's only a 4-hour drive to Boston. So that's really not bad. That's what I'm saying. Everywhere you go in this state is close by. And that's really not that bad. And what I'm saying is everywhere you go relative to New Jersey is pretty close. And I totally forgot to mention in this entire spiel that we do not have to pump our own gas. Now, I work in Delaware, which, may I add, is great because New Jersey, it's only like 45 minutes for me to get there from here. It's absolutely fantastic. But every time I go there, I want to get gas there because it's cheaper. But then I go to get gas, and each time I'm let down by the fact that I actually have to pump it. No, I'm not one of those lazy people, and I'm not an imbecile. I know how to pump my own gas, and I do it each time, but every time I get to that gas station, I'm like, damn it, I forgot. Because it really is such a spoiling thing that we have, that we do not have to pump our own gas, and honestly, it really does create more jobs. I don't understand why every other state doesn't do it. Oh, and I got 2 more things to wrap this up. Let me just address the Taylor ham and pork roll scenario because it is absolutely stupid, and it goes back to the little mini civil war I was talking about between North Jersey and South Jersey. We're gonna settle this debate right here. It is called pork roll. Taylor Ham is the company. Pork roll is the actual type of product that it is. It's not Taylor Ham, it's Taylor Ham's pork roll. So everyone can just shut up about it. Both of them are right. However, it is weird if you go to the store and say, hey, can I get Taylor Ham? No, it's pork roll. That's what you call it. That's what the right thing to do is. Okay, I gotta calm down. I hate North Jersey. All right, I kid. I do like North Jersey. I don't actually have a problem with it. The point I'm making, though, overall throughout this whole video is the state is not as bad as people say it is. There's a lot of really nice towns here. Yeah, there's a couple bad ones. Some are like really bad, like Camden, but those areas are pretty much confined like only within themselves. So it's not really bad pretty much right outside of Camden. Yeah, you get a little bit of seepage over into Pennsauken, which is like right next to Camden. But for the most part, that bad side pretty much just stays right there. And that's the same with Trenton. Trenton's bad, and there's obviously some other pretty bad towns in the state of New Jersey, but all that badness kind of stays pretty much in its own lane. And New Jersey really makes up for it by the other really nice towns that surround those areas. So yeah, I no longer want to move out of New Jersey. There definitely was a period of time that I did, but I've grown out of that phase, and honestly, I really do love this state. So if you're thinking about moving to New Jersey, just remember, you're gonna pay a little bit more than you're used to. You might deal with more traffic, and you might deal with some idiot drivers, which I didn't mention. By the way, Pennsylvania drivers and New York drivers are just a different breed of human, especially Pennsylvania drivers. New Jersey drivers aren't all that bad, at least I don't think so. It's really Pennsylvania drivers. When you get in the state, I think you will realize it, and I have nothing against Pennsylvania people. I actually really do like a lot. Some of my closest friends are Pennsylvanian people, but they're all the worst drivers I've ever seen in my entire life. Either they are speeding with a blindfold on, weaving in and out of lanes, going crazy, or they are driving way under the speed limit in the left lane. Like, there is no in between. That is Pennsylvania drivers in a nutshell. So if you do move here, you got to get used to that. Then you got to get used to the crazy New York drivers. You got to get used to the taxes, obviously, and you got to get used to just the state overall being a little more congested. But if you could get past all those things, New Jersey really is a very nice state to be. Honestly, I wouldn't pass up my experiences over these past 25 years with anything else, so I'm just going to kind of wrap it up with that. Anyway, with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all things I post. So anyway, thank you so much for watching.